listen to each other, right? Don't read the notes at that point. Just listen. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, that was much better with you.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Let's keep it fresh. I think that's good. I think you're going to be inspired at the moment. Count like crazy, even if I am playing your part.
Subconscious will work on it once we're Our subconscious will work on it once
yeah, just yeah. I think that's good for now. That's good. Thank you.
Why? Check 2. Check 3.
Welcome to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or watching from wherever you may be, you are welcome. I'm Mary, our worship associate this morning, and I'm delighted to be with you on this first Sunday after Easter. This morning we are joined by our interim music director, Kirk, and our chalice choir. Our lead minister is away participating in the ordination of a former congregant. Without further ado, do let us begin by singing. Please rise as you are willing and able as we begin with Morning Has Broken, number 38 in our gray hymnal. Thank you, Chalice. We acknowledge that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory, and that the work of reconciliation is a responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all those that have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those who are at risk, and to advocate for justice. Do take care and take advantage of online opportunities at FirstU to stay in touch during this protracted pandemic. If you are new to FirstU and would like to learn more about us, please contact us through our email at welcome@firstunitarian.ca. I'm sorry, welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. And if you're right here in Worship Hall with us this morning and would you like more information about FirstU, it is available at the welcome table at the back of the pews, and Dory is there waving at us, and she would be delighted to welcome you and answer any questions you might have. And now here is David from our board to highlight our announcements for today before we have an update on our renewal campaign.
Good morning. FirstU's annual general meeting is coming in less than 2 weeks, on Saturday, April 29th. Members can expect to receive their information package by email midweek this week. Please note this will be an in-person meeting here at Worship Hall, imagine that, not on Zoom. Also note it will not be on a Sunday afternoon because we could not provide you any lunch option following the Sunday service, so it's on a Saturday afternoon. Voter registration will start at 1 p.m. on Saturday, April 29th. Youth group for ages 11 to 17 is meeting this Friday evening to make a pasta supper and play games. Bring your friends. The meeting starts at 6 p.m. on Friday in Fellowship Hall. Details are in the EUU. The Breakfast Forum returns to FirstU. Next Sunday, the Justice and Equity Action Group presents our own Ruel Amdur speaking about prisoner exchanges with China. So come early to service next Sunday and enjoy a coffee, a muffin, and some engaging discussion in Fellowship Hall. And now Donna from the Environmental Action Group has some announcements.
Hi everybody, I'm Donna Bowen-Willer from the Environmental Action Group. Lots of interesting things are going on this week's climate action page, which you can look at. But really, this week is going to be all about Earth Day and Earth Week. So hope you all are ready to do some celebration. Earth Week has already started with a series of online global experiences on a range of topics. The links are in the climate action page if you want to see that. Everything from fashion to plastics, lots of things to look at. On Tuesday the 18th, and this is not to be missed, is Earth Speaks. This is going to be with Coyote White Duck, and he's going to tell you what's growing on with Ajashki. So make sure you find the Zoom link and join us for that. And then, of course, Saturday the 22nd is Earth Day itself. Now, are you planning to join Mike in Montreal for the service Earth Day Mega Rally? If you want to go and you're interested in finding out more information, meet with him in Fellowship Hall after the end of the service. And you're going to see him. He'll be sitting over there, and he's got a sign which says, "Don't be a fossil fool." So look at his "Don't be a fossil fool" sign and go sign up to join him. It should be a really fun trip and a festive family event. If you can't make it to Montreal, there's lots of things going on in Ottawa. And again, on the Climate Action page, you'll find these. For example, there's an all-day event sponsored by the Anishinaabe Sacred Circle on Bates Island at the Champlain Bridge, or there's a shoreline cleanup at Stanley Park, or there's an eco-market, or there's a vegan Earth Day march, and there's more. So all those links are on the Climate Action page. Anyway, here's wishing you a happy Earth Week and a happy Earth Day next Saturday.
Good morning. My name is Mary. As I told you earlier, as worship associate. But I am here now with exciting news from the Renewal Task Force, of which I am also a member. Many of us wear several hats, and you can see my 3 hats over there. Actually, I have more, but that's a good start. So, this is my red button hat. And you'll notice that I have 2 buttons on it, and they show that I have, did I put it the right way around? Perhaps I didn't. Oh, good. That shows that I have filled in the survey, and you know what? I volunteered and I've given money, so really I kind of done it all. Anyway, the Something Old, Something New campaign is off to a great start. As of this morning, we have raised 10% of our target of $70,000 in only the first week. 10% of $70,000. To donate, you may mail checks to the office or send e-transfers to fm@firstunitarianottawa.ca, or put an envelope in the offering basket, which will be coming around later. We can take post-dated checks. Be sure to indicate renewal in the message or on the check. You can follow the progress as we develop our plans under the big red renewal button on the website. Click Welcome and then the button. Go to the update section just below all the information on volunteering. And have you seen all the fun jobs being advertised? If everyone does a little bit here, a little bit there, everything will get done. Have you volunteered for something new? Thank you for anything you can do to help out FirstU and to help out you. Thank you.
If you haven't already done so, we encourage you to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter, to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages and our webpage for notices and updates. Our calendar continues to be as full as ever, though as global health challenges continue, many of our activities still take place online. Whatever your heritage, whatever your faith, whomever you love, and however you identify, today you are part of our spiritual community. Welcome.
So I'll put on another hat because I am now the minister, I believe, because I'm going to do the chalice lighting. So, Donna, Kirk, David, Chalice Choir, thank you. To begin our morning's reflection on the path of vulnerability, we light our chalice this morning to these words adapted from those by Suzelle Lynch. Each time we light the chalice, we renew our commitment to our faith. With the spark of a match, we make it new again, as fresh and surprising as the first day. We encountered a spiritual community and realized we were home. We light this chalice for renewal of our faith. We will shortly. Don't you dare. Our chalice is lit. Come, let us worship together. Now, my friend Mary Ann, where's Mary Ann? Oh, fabulous, has agreed to help out today. So she will be reading the centering words, which are by Mohandas Gandhi. She will explain your very important but very simple response. And if you'd like to follow along, it is at 577 in the gray hymnal and perhaps on the screen, perhaps not. 577.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Ann O'Hagan. Nice to give Mary and her hats a break, even though she's there in the order of service. So if you've had a moment to find the centering words, it is possible to live in peace, and I'll read the main sections, and you do the refrain there. So everybody ready? Here we go. It is possible to live in peace. If someone with courage and vision can rise to lead in nonviolent action, the winter of despair can, in the twinkling of an eye, be turned into the summer of hope. It is possible to live in peace. Nonviolence is not a garment to be put on and off at will. Its seat is in the heart, and it must be an inseparable part of our being. It is possible to live in peace. Nonviolence, which is a quality of the heart, cannot come by an appeal to the brain. It is a plant of slow growth, growing imperceptibly but surely. It is possible to live in peace. If a single person achieves the highest kind of love, it will be sufficient to neutralize the hate of millions. It is possible to live in peace. If we are to reach real peace in this world, and if we are to carry on a real war against war, we shall have to begin with the children. It is possible to live in peace. The future depends on what we do in the present. It is possible to live in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. Now is the time when we honor the personal joys and sorrows of our lives by placing a smooth pebble into a bowl of water. Over the ages, humankind has seen much spiritual symbolism in the ever-expanding ripples of the water and in the strength represented by the stones. May they bring you peace. I place a stone. Excuse me, could I have the mic on? I place a stone. It's on. Am I not talking loud enough? Can you hear me? Project. I place a stone for Barbara, who is recovering from surgery. There is a caring card available saying, wishing Barbara a happy and healthy return home after her recent surgery at the back. Also, I put a stone, first of all, an apology. A joy was missed when it was submitted a month ago. Our apologies, and thank you for reaching out once again. And this stone of joy, and I'll make a very big one, stone of joy and gratitude from Susan B. for St. Andrew for his caring and his chauffeuring. And St. Andrew, I'm sure you know who you are. And a final stone this morning for all the joys and sorrows that remain in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. Our caring card, as I said, for Barbara is at the back of the hall for us to sign. Even if you don't know Barbara, this is a way for us to extend our care on behalf of those who gave so much of their hearts to this community. Please enter the stillness for a period of silent reflection, after which Kirk will lead us in singing "'Tis a Gift to be Simple," which you'll find at number 16 in our gray hymnal or on the screen in front of you. But first, a lingering moment of stillness.
And so now we're going to have a reading from a book by our own Fred Cappuccino. You've probably seen this book. You might have read it, bought it for other people. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. So I'm just going to read a short section from that book. From Bonnie and Her 21 Children by Fred Cappuccino. One baby was not enough to fill Bonnie's home. With thousands of orphans at Cook County Hospital and elsewhere, she assumed it would be relatively simple to adopt a child. She wrote to the local adoption agency in Chicago, and a social worker came to visit. During the interview, we talked of many things. Perhaps we talked too much. We are, of course, passionate about racial justice. We mentioned that we would like to adopt a child who otherwise might never be adopted. The social worker said she would consider our request, although she could make no commitment whatever and didn't want to raise our hopes. Sometime later, we were dumbfounded to learn that we had been refused. She said it was because we had a psychological problem. Inverted prejudice. So what does that mean? It refers to the fact, on one hand, you consciously decided to limit the number of children born to you. That of itself is unusual. But you also requested a mixed or minority race child. This is even more unusual. And taken together, this means you have inverted prejudice. You may not realize it, she said, but you are prejudiced against your own unborn children. Nothing we could say would dissuade her from this judgment, not even the fact that our son Robin, a thoroughly delightful child, was loved and cherished, and that we were planning for one more biological child. We asked her if we could appeal this decision. She said the decision was final, and that she talked it over with her superior, and he agreed with her completely. We asked her about the children who were not adopted. Wouldn't our home be better than their having to stay in some kind of institution? She replied that all the children were well provided for, but she was vague about how. Bonnie went to the public library and found out which adoption agencies were situated within driving distance. There were 103, and she wrote to all of them. 2/3 of the agencies didn't bother to answer. Those that did told us that they had strict rules that parents who were able to have children by natural means were not eligible for a child from their agency. Then I remembered Miki Sawada, a woman I had met in Japan when I was teaching English there after the war. She had gathered some abandoned GI babies, fathered by American servicemen, and was raising them. We wrote to her. She sent a photograph of 3 little children who were adoptable, a girl of 5 years old and 2 boys about 6. We already had a boy, so we decided on the girl, who was Black Japanese. So that's the end of this reading. So if you haven't read the book,
and there are 2 copies of this book in the library, next door, top shelf under the Unitarian Universalist shelf, if you'd like to borrow them.
May we sing together, oh,
I'm sorry, we seem to be going a little long today, so I hope you're hanging in there. There's a very good presentation by the Cappuccinos coming up shortly. So I'd just like to talk about it a bit. Our main presentation today is a video Reverend Eric took of a conversation he and his wife had with Bonnie and Fred Cappuccino at the tail end of last month. Eric apologizes in advance for not being a professional videographer. Turns out taking 3 hours of conversation and distilling it to 20 minutes is quite a bit of work. The start is rough, but both the image and the sound improve after a bit. For those who don't know Bonnie or Fred, and we had kind of hoped they might come out today, but anyway, we're glad you're at home and doing well, Bonnie and Fred. Here is a brief synopsis. The two met when Bonnie was in nursing school and Fred was in seminary. While Fred began his formal ministry as a Methodist, the Unitarian Universalist approach won him over. He served their congregation in Silver Spring, Maryland, before coming north to Point Claire in Montreal. Fred and Bonnie are perhaps best known for adopting children from all over the world and founding Child Haven International, a group that sponsors homes for children in India, Bangladesh, and Nepal. As may be evidently clear, the couple have been inspired by the writings and example of Mohandas Gandhi. After serving the Unitarian congregation in Point Claire, Fred began working with the Unitarian Fellowship of Ottawa over on what Eric calls the East Side. He is also no stranger to our pulpit, though he hasn't been back in a while. Eric and Ann's conversation with Bonnie and Fred took place over a long afternoon. This morning, we'll only be seeing some of the highlights. As the video begins, they're all getting settled in. Eric has suggested that Bonnie and Fred sit closer than on opposite sides of the room. While the couple's strollers are being moved about, Fred asks a pointed question, and you'll have to see what that is. So I hope you enjoyed seeing Bonnie and Fred again. They are quite the characters if you've ever seen them out here, especially Fred in his, I believe it's a turquoise suit he has, pants and jacket, and Bonnie with her many bracelets and fancy clothes and so on. It's a real treat to have them here. So at least we could see them. So I'd ask the ushers to start passing the baskets, please. This congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We have been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or anywhere else, you are part of this community. To make a gift in support of the work of this congregation, you don't need to use the baskets that are now beginning to make their way among our pews. Wherever you are invited to go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how to make a donation or keep up with your pledge. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of this community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. And now please rise as you are willing and able as we join in singing as we come marching, marching, number 109 in your gray hymnal. This is a favorite of Fred Cappuccino's. The lyrics are in your program as well as displayed on the mask behind me. Excuse me, on the screen behind me. Before we begin to close this time of worship and reflection, a reminder that coffee hour will begin in Fellowship Hall immediately after this service. For those watching remotely, an informal online fellowship hour will begin at noon. You can find the Zoom link on our website or in the EUU. And also, leafy greens, courtesy of the good folks of Ajashki, are available for those who would like some from the Grow Towers in the old volunteer room near Fellowship Hall. As we prepare to extinguish our chalice, let these words by Gandhi guide us forward. There is no such thing as slow freedom. Freedom is like a birth. Till we are fully free, we are slaves. This morning's chalice is extinguished. The spark of our connections and faith remains. Kirk and singers, will you please bless us again?
Thank you.
invite the congregation to reach hands out towards the person beside you. As we prepare now to leave this space, may our hearts remain open and our minds remain clear. We are people of both reason and heart, of both memory and hope. May we also always remain people of love, providing a place in this world for our spirit, a place called home. As now we return to the challenge of helping the world come alive in love, let us go forward in peace, my friends. Go in peace.
Those are the hearing aids.
On days like this, I rather Hi, Tess. Hello. Great. Yes, Carrie.
They come back for.
Hello. I have another piece of cake. Yeah.